action surge. Are we ever
Such a height.
Are we ever going to get bored of that?
No.
I really enjoy it every time.
Yeah.
I think we will get bored of it without realising, but we'll replace it organically with something else will take over. We sort of move from
Keep it
thing to
interesting,
thing.
like the time that I stick the D4 under Holly's chair, or something like
Just
that.
under the chair would do almost nothing.
Well, no,
on the seat,
under
on
the
the
chair.
seat of the
We
chair.
have a princess and the pea situation going on here.
No, I think if the P was quite as sharp as this.
I chose a rounded edge
I will
one.
make
I didn't
you
want to be
extract
cruel.
it.
Yeah.
I'm not even fucking joking. Like,
Oh, we can all do it.
What? No, not all. No. Wait.
I'll do it now. I'll sit on mine right now.
Right,
can we,
okay.
like,
It's like
right.
the fox, the grain, and that we can't leave Ben
the chicken,
we
yeah,
can't,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now I'm leaning on a
And
D4.
we can't leave.
don't lean on the D4.
I'm leaning on the D4. That hurts now.
Yeah, of course it will.
That's how much it. I'm only half leaning.
I thought
Are
really
you doing a
feel it.
dispel?
No, this is
That's
our one.
that
Can you
is-
try? Can you try that?
No,
Because
don't
that
do
is gonna.
That's-
That is
that
gonna be
will
awful.
tear.
Owls are
This is a dispel.
This is a
That will-
dispel.
that
This is a
will-
dispel.
No.
Let me
This
just
is a
do. Let me just have a
dispel.
lean.
No, because I don't want them to not work
That's
with
gonna
us.
really hurt.
Yeah, I just did a
Okay,
dispel.
it hurts now. Now it hurts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but what's the angle?
Do you know what that was? That was like, the sort of acupuncture bed thing that you lie on, but you don't get the benefit of spreading your weight across all of it. You just get
Imagine a
the
bed
one.
of dispel
That's
D4s
really
for like acupuncture.
That's a fucking needle, is what.
Yeah.
Ah. It's on my back.
So that was the shortest step we've done in quite a long time.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Oh, listen, honey, we stopped. Actually, I tried to stop where I tried to stop, and then you asked me if you could see any loose gems, and I went,
Shit.
storytelling. Because so I'd written that like little chunk as a sort of setting for. There were various stopping points. That's the first one, and I think this has been the kind of ep where actually everything's been quite sort of discussy, and I would rather we start another one with fresh energy in a fresh space than define the beginning of these caves by the energy we had outside.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, you feel like it feels like if you're going to do an episode, getting to the cave
Yes.
and entering the caves is actually a perfect
Yeah.
Yes,
episode in
that's-
that sense.
that's-
It just happens
that's
to
the
have been
thing.
This
shorter
is
than normal.
foreplay for the cave.
It is.
Yeah.
It's
In the
yeah.
caves
That's
right now.
exactly what it is. We're barely
We tickled the
consensually
outside.
in the caves.
Tickle
Yeah.
the caves.
If you look at it from the right angle, you can see where
We've
where the
teased-
way in is.
We've
To
teased
pay-
the outside of
That
the
is,
caves
to be clear as
for
well.
long enough.
To be clear, that is, we are consensually barely in the caves, not barely
The
consensually
caves,
in the caves.
and absolutely, the caves have been asking us.
Yes,
to enter
as
them for a
idols
while.
shout, consent.
We've
in
just
one
blown
minute.
lightly on them, and then
Yes,
then we'll
and,
get
and in a
to
minute
it
we're
later.
going to
I think the caves came up to us.
Yeah,
We were like-
the caves have been giving us all the signs.
Quite
the entire
literally
way
gave us-
through.
gave
Gave us
me
signs.
They got their friend
I
to
don't
come
know.
up to us and say, the caves are over there.
Yeah.
We were like, we're
My friend
busy.
thinks you're hot.
I've been
Yeah.
getting hot wax kind of vibes, you know?
I
Yeah.
thought you were getting hot waxed. I was like, that's
So did
nothing
I.
to do with this conversation.
You should have done that
Yeah.
way in advance. Like preparedness is,
Hot wax.
is everything really.
Oh, thank you, darling.
You're welcome.
But yeah, we began. I mean, we sort of. It's interesting because for me. Can we sort of reveal what you said as soon as we cut? Mm-hmm. What is it exactly that you said? I can't.
I said, I'm sorry that was a lot of sitting around for other people while I went off and did things.
Oh yeah.
But to me, it feels entirely appropriate because Dolly and I have shared their sort of most significant character arcs to date in this section of forest and cave. And from a kind of storytelling point of view, I has been the sort of second most important part of what's happened in Haven, because on the periphery there's been this kind of B plot that's been sort of gently
Well, and the whole thing with Parvis as well.
exactly. So like there's the stuff with Parvis and we know where we're going, but then it was very much like that was about Dolly and about Dolly's journey and about Dolly's reconciliation with her past and what her future looks like. And it feels like if I was making a show of this, like if you were writing the scripts, you'd be like, we need an episode which tells our audience very clearly
It recenters
that
them.
now we're following I as the kind of like at the head of the sort of the head of the triangle.
Also,
right?
you're bringing both of those characters' main kind of deal to the fore, because whereas Dolly's arc was all about kind of like talking their way out of trouble. Eyes is all about, sneaking into. So
Yes.
It's showing off their character strengths in a way that makes sense.
Yeah. It'd be wild for any of us to have suggested we should all go and scout out the camp. That
Considering
would have
how
been
much hesitation there was to sort of go forward, if like the risk that would have been involved with everyone going, let's all go do a big scout together.
Yeah.
And it just wouldn't make any sense. Like the characters wouldn't make that decision.
Also, we because of how I've always handled split parties up to this point, you're not that used to sitting there for a long time while other people do things. Like normally, sometimes it would be like, oh, I'll move you guys out, and then I is doing his thing, and you're going, oh, I wonder where that damn lizard is. Whereas this
All
was
day,
just
every
you
day.
kind of having to sort of sit in the room and be present for it.
Because we would assume that instead of you having to relay that information back, that you would have relayed that information.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like we are taking it in as well.
Yes.
Saying it to him, saying it to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in Haven when we were leaving the room, there was more up for discovery than it was sort of here. This is very black and white. Like these are the buildings that you've seen. You come back and tell us. We're immediately going there.
And also everything is needed and useful to everyone. And it's not as if like I decide, Alex and I decided that I has a sister. And there is one kobold that is like,
He's got
help us.
5 sisters,
Yeah.
all older.
It's interesting because we've never talked about I's family because I has tribe.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
The collective, yeah.
It's interesting when you start thinking about like how do you start to think about what would role play of an entire tribe of kobolds look like, because there's not any particular
like the
reason.
Borg.
Yeah, I guess. But like there's not any particular reason for any one of them to go and like say hi, because they're all sort of like the little green, like the minions or the little green men in Toy Story.
Yeah. I like the idea of them all working away in their caves, and literally there being sort of this unspoken, just occasionally they'll be like huh? And then want to go and throw something. It's like and it's just lots of that kind of thing, and it's sort of unspoken, just almost hive mind-esque.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then you came up with a plan. You came up with like a good plan, a really good plan. That's like the smoothest you've ever done anything, I think.
I think we were looking for something that wasn't there, if I'm being truthful. That's how I sort of felt. That I thought, like, you can try too hard to look for something when it's actually a really obvious solution, which is small distraction, sneak in. Like, you've got all the equipment you need to sneak in. You've got pass without trace. You're invisible. Like,
he can turn into any animal.
Like,
I will say also, though, I think that's based on past precedent of Gloam camps and how well we've done at those in the past. That I think we're bringing a lot of baggage to this.
Can I also say, which I think I can say now because you're not through, that is not a camp on high alert, because you're the first people from Haven.
they didn't
Because
know.
probably you didn't ask to check, but probably those Gloam who you fought were the people who'd fled Haven, who were trying to, I may as well tell you, they were the ones who fled Haven at the end of the Battle of from Nox, and they were trying to not look completely fucking useless by turning up with people to be like, look, Haven's fallen, we're in desperate trouble, but at least we found these guys. And then you killed them. So that camp, as far as it's concerned, is carrying on exactly as it would have done for the last however long it's been there. Months. And so it's not on a war footing.
No.
Like Alvelion's on a war footing because it's really dangerous. But you've been in this forest for how many episodes?
28?
28. So Croak and Dagger is when we came out of the portal.
28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35.
Oh my
8
gosh.
episodes. Has any
What?
creature or animal attacked you in this forest?
No.
It's not that kind of forest. It's kind of amazing.
Technically, we're in a different forest now.
Yes, but essentially within this
cluster
within
of
the 4
four.
forests, within this family of, like, it wouldn't make much sense to me to have, like, also I think the trope of like a shambling mound or a tree attacking you. Once you've done it, you've kind of done it. Like
Makes
there's
sense
more,
Helvellyan as
there's,
well.
yes, and there's more margin for me to do that somewhere like Lathie, right? Because we've already established the idea of like walking trees, and you go, yeah, I can imagine Lathie. There's some weird shit going on. It's like in my head, it's a bit like Mirkwood in my head,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Whereas these are weird, sort of idylls. Like they are like, I sort of hate. I obviously don't mean this, but they're like AI prompts of spring, summer, autumn, and winter.
They're like if you say describe spring to me.
Yes.
It's just that. It's
Yes.
just all of the things
Yes.
that like make up spring, make up autumn.
and so it doesn't feel to me like there needs to be a presence that is fighting you that isn't the story. And therefore it makes sense in my head that this Gloam camp is just like, yeah, we have people who are up in the towers because sometimes it's your job to sit up in the towers. But they're not bows strained waiting for an imminent attack. They're just kind of there.
I think we know. It's interesting to hear you say that because our learned experience of them is always on high alert, always competitive, even if we're trying to convince them of something. And as far as we're concerned, this is the old dark. Like, yes, you would be 100% on high alert because this is the prize. You've got the entire fortune there. So our thing was going, well, we cannot fuck this up because this is so important. This is the culmination of everything. And I suppose that's what you get when you're 35 episodes in, being like, in our minds, you're building up to this. So why wouldn't it be? Why
Life or
wouldn't?
death.
Yeah, why wouldn't that? Because everything at that point has given us reason to think that that would be the case. But also, you know, it didn't have. There were reasons, and we was a very simple solution to what is otherwise actually.
And there are 16 Gloam there.
That's quite a few.
It is quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We wouldn't have fought them. We could. They just wouldn't have. I think that was another thing. Last episode, you said how many people there were there.
I said a dozen. They said they put about a dozen.
And in our mind, we were like, we cannot take them. So there's no way that we can fall into combat. We can't fall into combat because there's just so many of them. And so I think we got that into our head that it was just a huge numbers thing.
For me, it's also about doing something different as well, and
Yes.
knowing that we have fought Gloam camps before, or at least gotten into that kind of situation before. Like in when we got to the camp and burned all the mushrooms, I was like kind of aware of not wanting to retread similar ground. Just because, like, you know, I think there's more interesting things we can be doing, and it's like, can we, as a collective, can we successfully stealth our way through something for once? If we all put our minds to it, is that something that we can achieve? Which we can.
And also the burning of the mushrooms when you first arrived in the forest was very different because that burning came out of a failure to execute a different strategy. So if you want to do a, not that you need to, I don't think at all, but if you want to justify it, it's like, look, we tried to sneak in, it didn't work, we ended up burning stuff. Why don't we just try burning stuff
And then sneaking
straight in? Yeah, it's like straight away.
Well, we saw, didn't we? Like, it was like quickly protect the mushrooms. So you're like, yeah, if you think you're going to burn it.
But logically, that makes sense because that's all they're there for.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And gems.
Yeah,
And gems.
it really played into all of I's strengths, and also you got that amazing nat 20, so it kind of.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the masterstroke here in some ways was I deciding to pin the fire on
Yes, that
the
was
Gloam.
great.
That was great.
That was really good.
Love that.
Yeah, because I was like, we've got to do this in a way when normally it's like, okay, chaos, and we move on. But in this circumstance, we're like,
We have to make sure no one comes behind us.
no one comes behind us, that no one alerts whatever is down here, anyone who's down here, all that stuff. It needs to look as unsuspect.
Yeah.
pretty-
This is an
it's
internal
watertight.
tragedy, not an
Yeah.
external.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
And him being kind of screwed up by the smoke is very useful then because all they've seen is a guy,
And there were witnesses to it as
yeah,
well.
being like, oh no. Probably unaware of what
Has you
has
done?
happened.
I mean, what was that person's name? I feel like they're the Vim of this episode.
Yeah.
You know, like really unfortunate.
They're definitely dying in a fire.
My problem is I always reach for the name Marcus for stuff. Anyone that like isn't super high status but reasonably competent.
Yeah.
I
Trying to
always
kill the
refer to as
Marcuses,
Marcus.
It's like a good like Roman legion name.
It also
Or
feels
mid-Marcus.
it doesn't feel so contemporary that you couldn't put it anywhere, but you
Yeah.
could also put it in a coffee shop in 2025 and you wouldn't go, who's called Marcus these days?
Definitely the barista.
Yeah.
But actually, that's their middle name. They changed their name because
Azrel.
Actually, big he they.
Marcus
Lavigne.
Lavigne.
I was called out by Sam, our editor. Who,
It's not like him.
I know.
About the wife.
I know. Saying
The
that actually Mina, who is the halfling who I claimed was married to Azrel, he was like, "You've already." He's married to Lavigne, and I was like,
Yep.
I corrected myself in the game, saying, "No, sorry." He said, "No, sorry, that's her family name. It's Lavigne." So she's called Mina Lavigne.
Mina.
Which is a
That's a
cool
great
name.
Really
Lavigne.
cool name.
That's really
A
good.
really.
What do
cool
you think
name.
she'll do now? I know this is obviously the last episode.
The last episode ever.
She'll be fine.
No, then
She'll be
this-
fine. She'll
'cause
move
it wasn't
on.
this
She'll find
episode, was
someone
it?
new.
Mina
She'll-
Lavigne.
She's young.
Yeah, Mina Lavigne.
She's got a whole life ahead of her.
Yeah, what's Mina Lavigne gonna do? Mina
Remarry.
Mina
Remarry.
Lavigne's been through hell. I know, but Mina Lavigne's been through hell.
Yeah, but she
Mine's back.
deserves
She's
some
going to
happiness.
have like
She
this will be a
deserves
fresh
happiness.
new start for her
Yeah.
outside of the cult. She can
Yeah.
go out.
She's going to have like a
Like-
midlife crisis, become a hippie, kind
She
of
was already a hippie. She was in a
Travel
cult.
Could
Well,
you-
also, it's gonna be like I think she'll get
Join
there.
the
She'll be like,
corporate ladder.
I can't wait to tell
Yeah.
Azrel that I met the Midnight Moon, and they'll go, Azrel died saving the Midnight Moon,
Yeah,
and
listen.
they'll go, she'll go, oh my god,
Daddy
that's
girl.
what he would have wanted.
And she'll go out. She'll go out into the world. She'll join a multi-level marketing company.
Yeah.
MLM.
It's definitely
She'll
kind of like
contact
a wax
everyone from
melt.
her high school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot.
We've got this
Hey,
new
boss
herbal
babe,
drink.
do you want to be your
It's
own
going
boss?
to be really, really good. We're
Selling
going to
water
get
filters.
You wanna be your
50
own boss,
grand
make
a
your own
month.
Work from home.
What do you? If you think
Yeah.
there is a multi-level marketing scheme in Reliquiae, what do you think it is?
It's well.
It's incensey based for sure. Like it's something. It's
It's
not far from
it's
the
like,
current
it's like
wax melt
potions.
trend.
It's like some sort of like dodgy potion.
Isn't
sort
it
of.
literally the Gloam?
Well, yeah, the Gloam also. I mean, Somnium is a multi-level marketing scheme.
Well, at least you get something out of that.
Yeah, that's true. I would say.
Kel's having a great time.
I would say the kind of multi-level marketing schemes that you'd find, actually, the frontage would be at Festival of Benediction. Is a lot of people signing up for MLMs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Like a lot of
yeah.
people who it's like sort of fast expanding.
You want to get in on the ground level.
Yeah,
Penny stock.
yeah,
Yeah.
And then right now, new religions are popping
Pink
up
slip.
That's
all
what,
over
that's
the
what
place.
I
Selling
mean. That's
blessings
what I
and
mean.
things like
Yeah,
that.
blessings
The
and
reason for the call, John.
Yeah.
like stuff to do with Alvelian. Maybe maybe there's a belief that Alvelian has sort of magical properties, and that if you take a little bit of Alvelian stone and you crumble it into your drink, like that kind of
Weight
stuff.
loss jabs.
Weight loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, I thought you were about to go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I'll go ahead. Sure, I'll go ahead.
Go ahead.
Big moment today for Alex. Absolutely loves to huff a bit of Somnium.
Yeah.
The moment that you found that was like the moment that you enjoyed toffee apples. I felt like
Yeah.
you discovering that was like the light going off in your head. I'm like,
You could pinpoint the moment you felt you're like, I'm fucking invincible.
Yeah.
you very
No,
much
am I
shaped water that
invisible?
moment as
Yeah.
well. You shaped water that moment where you went, I'm going to sniff this at all possible.
Yeah.
Another half, baby.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was debating a moment where the guards all ran past, where it's like almost as though if it was in a film, you'd see all of their feet like this. They pan. You'd be following their feet, and then it would stay, and their feet would continue off, and you'd just see a little kobold stood against a cliff, just
Huffing.
sniffing. Like,
I just liked your little interpretive dance.
Yeah, the dance was amazing.
Just love big smells.
A long time ago, my mum used to support people with learning difficulties in their homes, like people who were living in the community but just needed some extra help. And I remember one of them gave her. She obviously couldn't accept gifts from them, but like this was such a non-gift that she was like, "Oh, thank you very much." That I think he gave her a jar of gravy granules, like really cheap gravy granules. And I remember opening the jar and smelling the jar and being like, that smells so awful, but I couldn't stop smelling it. I was about 7 or 8. And I remember saying to my mum and dad, can you hide this? Because if I know where it is, I keep going into the cupboard and smelling it, and I hate it.
It's a nice
I
big
feel
fat
where?
yeah.
That for me is the it's the glue. I think it might be PVC glue or PVA
glue.
PVC glue.
PVC.
When I'm in my dungeon,
THC.
PVA glue is the one with the little screw top
Yeah,
and has a
yeah.
little brush on
You
it.
put it on your
Yeah.
fingers
Oh
and then
my
peel
god,
it
the
off.
smell of that, because it's almost
It's like smelling
rotting,
salts.
but it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
'Cause it
slightly
really-
fishy sometimes.
It's
Yeah.
slightly
Yes.
it's the fishiness of it.
And
that goes,
slightly dairy adjacent sometimes.
That's what I think the Somnium was smelling like.
Do you know what? That's interesting because it reminded me of that moment I discover it and I go, that's quite nice actually. Is reminded me of the moment when I was in.
Is this going to be monetizable?
Yeah, I was in Finland.
Yeah.
And we went to this traditional Finnish restaurant.
Oh, I know exactly what you're about to talk about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was the fermented shark.
Oh, yeah.
The lady comes up to me
Yeah.
and she's like, well, we've got this, and this is traditional. It's the fermented shark. Like anyone who eats it hates it. It's like it's not nice.
Well, why do they keep giving
And
it
it's
to
like, but it's just traditional.
Tourists go
and I was
more.
like, cool, bring it on. So anyway, cut to like 5 minutes later, she comes back round. She's got this little plate with 2 bits of fermented shark with 2 sticks in it.
Right.
And I go to take it, and she's still stood there, and I look up at her because I'm like, oh, does she want something? And she looks at me, she just goes, I want to watch you eat it, like that. So I was like, okay.
It's not a good sign.
Hagal, it's called.
There you go. So I eat the fermented shark, and I really like strong flavors, and I eat this fermented shark, and I just like chew it, swallow it, and I go, yeah. And she just looks at me and goes, that was disappointing, and walks away. And that's the equivalent today, like just sniffing that thing going, it's quite nice actually. Yeah.
There are members of our
Almost like kind of, like a slightly tough, like just a slightly tough fish.
Like fish jerky almost?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. It's not like dried out, but it's like the texture of it is like it's dense. It's dense, and it's got a little bit more chewy.
Did you say it's dense?
Dense.
It's dense.
That was a mixture of dense and chewy. It's dense.
Have you ever had? I think it's Swedish. It's the.
Surströmming.
Is this the salty, horrible,
Surströmming
disgusting,
is the-
horrible?
I think that's how you say
licorice, horrible.
Oh, is that when we
horrible-
were doing the Final Fantasy quiz?
Yeah,
and
and
Swedish
I
fish.
think
and
it may
it
have
was
even.
horse. Horse
Okay,
bought them.
it's
It
not
was,
Surströmming.
it was Horse who's done our
All our
lovely
emotes that
stickers,
you
all our
use,
emotes
yeah.
that you use.
They were awful.
They were like, oh, try this, and it's the worst thing.
Licorice.
What is it?
Yeah.
I believe it's licorice just covered in salt.
Salt.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of
I think it's Swedish.
I'm
It
thinking
is.
of a Swedish thing called surströmming, which is a fermented fish that rots. It rots under very specific conditions, and they get a can of it. And when I was doing Last Kingdom, we were working with a lot of Scandinavians, and I'd heard about surströmming, and there are videos, so many videos on the internet of people just trying to be in a room while the can is opened, because as you open the can, it goes and it releases all of that built.
man.
And apparently, like people throw up from the smell, right? And what I've heard is if you can get it past your nose, the flavour is kind of okay. It's nowhere near as bad as it
Great.
tastes.
What a
If you
review.
can get it past your nose.
Yeah.
What
Why?
an incredible
I
review.
said to them, can you bring some out? Because I think it would be like a fun thing for us all to try and do.
Literally fucking broken skin on that.
And they said they all refused to do it. Have you just burnt your?
I've literally cut myself on a deep
I said they were like, no, we're not bringing it out, because we were doing battle scenes at the end of the season, and I was like, we're outside. Like, how bad can it be? And I said, what would happen? I mean, is it really, really awful? And one of them said to me, if you open the tin in a car, you sell the car. They were like, it will just, you cannot,
Seeps in.
you cannot get the smell out. I guess because it was a way of storing it for a very, 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 very long time. So it's one of those typical things that's like more beloved of older generations.
Just saying, once you invent a computer, you stop using a typewriter, you know? Like,
And that's why we should not have any traditions or eat anything that we
some
used to.
I mean, look, cannibalism would have been traditional in some places.
Well, not where I'm from. I can't speak for you.
What a way to take that, by the way.
That is such a
I did
nuclear
not know that's
option.
where you would.
That's such a
For you,
nuclear
though, not
option.
surprised, because you do tend to go quite nuclear with your options. That one wasn't the one I would have
It's like,
known.
oh, what are you having for Christmas?
You.
Turkey, ham? Oh, Uncle George.
Yeah.
All right, Donna Party.
Speaking of horrible, gross things, I think that absolutely freaked me out in this episode more than anything that's freaked me out.
It really freaked you out. I actually backed off the imagery because I saw people's reactions.
Just really wasn't liking any of it because it's something. It just felt so visceral. The idea of mushrooms coming out of the eyes.
Very Last of Us.
Plucking them?
Yeah, the
very
pulling.
clicking.
Yeah,
the
the pulling was- the
cordyceps,
pulling was the horrible
It was the
part.
pulling that actually, because you were like, they were willing to pull their own eyes out, but they couldn't because it was too painful. Like, that was the bit.
Yeah,
But I thought it was
It felt
Amazing.
beautifully Lovecraftian in a way, like witness the divine, make the sacrifice of the soul. It was very disgusting and also very reminiscent of what happened to Nox, and it was quite a good omen of like, okay, there's a lot in there that we need to be wary of. And there was this sense of this mushroom is way more powerful and way more dangerous than I've ever seen before, which is cool.
Thank goodness Element's got her goggles.
Well, it's bright down there.
You wait till it smashes through the glass of the goggles.
Yeah.
And you're all in trouble when I can't see
It
anything.
felt very alien. The whole thing felt
Yeah.
alive and dangerous.
Well, that's kind of what it is, really. I mean, I think, that I have in my head that by defining the world as being made up of 3 different planes of existence, it's quite difficult. I kind of back myself into a certain corner, really, where I'll look at stuff and I'll be like, I'll look at monsters that I want to use, or I'll look at things I want to try and do, and I'm like, that doesn't feel very Reliquiae to me. It doesn't feel very mortal plane, because this land that you're in is such a kind of it's just very Tolkien-esque, I guess, really. But then what something like Somnium allows you to do, because it's so weird, you can suddenly bring things in that you might go, oh no, that's a bit...
It's natural.
Yes, yeah, it's just an herb. It's just an herb.
Yeah, lion's mane on crack.
But like, you kind of go, oh, okay, yeah, I can kind of have a little bit more flexibility in terms of the things I put in front of you. Because it feels, in a really good way, like kind of not quite of this plane, or at least of something different, which gives me sort of more options to put in front of
How
me.
often will you, can you give us an idea of how often these, Constitution saving throws, how bad is it down there?
Okay, so I can. What I will say, because I don't think this is massive spoilers, I'm not going to be having you roll every round or anything like that. It's more that the deeper into the caves you go, the harder it gets to resist. That's it. So I sort of have set points at which DCs like just notch up and notch up.
Yeah. So just call for them. You'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, that's what it's going to be like. Yeah.
I really liked your dream at the end.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
It was very, very evocative. All the running
Yeah.
water and stuff like that.
Yeah. I made all that shit up.
No, but, I mean, technically, we're all doing that all the time.
I know.
But it was really nice.
It was, I felt a little bit like I wasn't sure where to go with
I think it was perfect.
Harry's request, because I just kind of came out of the blue.
It's very reminiscent of someone who was high.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
idea of it being very sensory, image based, not necessarily like
Someone who loves nature.
yeah,
Yeah.
something very visceral about that feeling of like you being washed with certainly that feeling of it's always like, I mean, for me anyway, it's flashes of moments and things like that are when you take yourself off in that kind of weird sense. It was very visceral.
When you're doing stealth, now you have reliable talent. Do you
Do I enjoy?
not enjoy, but like, because no one wants to be scared all the time that you're going to fail, because there's nothing worse than wanting to do something cool and failing. I get like that feeling, but like, it's almost fucking impossible to fail.
Yeah.
So like, does it take the edge off?
There is a sense
Not
that it
maybe a
does
fun way.
take the edge off a bit, but I guess
I think reliable talent is a bit much.
You almost may as well.
Personally.
yeah.
You almost may as well be flipping a coin, because either the only interesting results that you'll get is a nat 1 or a nat 20.
You have a 19 out of
Everything
20
else is
chance
just-
of it working.
Yeah.
Like,
So there is a little bit of that, which is why I also like to then do things that will push it a little bit. Like, I know he was high, but like slipping past someone in the
Yeah,
door,
yeah.
going round and
there was a-
waving Somnium around him. Even do you know what I mean? Like,
if you hadn't done that, he was going to pull the door shut and lock it from the outside. You were fucked.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like,
yeah.
because he's gonna lock. He was gonna, because the natural thing to do is, if he's panicking a little bit, just shut the door. Well, that was weird. Shut the door, lock it, and turn away.
Yeah.
Your perception, you rolled some stinkers on perception.
Oh my God,
which is
really
wild.
bad. Really,
Your
really bad.
wisdom is low, though, isn't it? You
Yeah.
have a
But
plus
Like,
one.
you were like not even
totally
double
flat.
digits. Nearly every roll you were like 7,
Yep, totally
5,
flat.
and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So like I get it. So basically, you had done amazing stealth and actually not really come away with
Yeah.
the goods in sense
Yeah,
of like
'Cause you rolled
that.
a nat
But
20.
Because
I rolled a
narratively, he's so
pretty high.
laser focused on the
On the-
task at
yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
I think reliable talent is to is too.
I'm amazed they
gonna
gave
nerf
it to me.
No, I'm not going to nerf it because I think what I don't ever want to do is you can't take something away that someone's enjoying. You know what I mean? Like for me, so it's why I'm very cautious about giving out magic items, and I'm not really a big treasure DM because I need to know that when I give you something, I know it's not going to break the game. Because there's nothing worse than you really start. You're like, oh my god, I got this new sword. So we were talking
Just
off
talked
camera
about this.
about Lilith's sword, which is a great sword. And the original stat block was like 1d12 plus strength. It would count as a magic weapon. So it'd be 1d12 plus strength.
1d12.
1d12 per attack.
Yeah.
And then I have her getting 2d8 necrotic damage on a hit.
That was it, yeah.
And I'm kind of figuring out how much of that is the sword and how much of that is because she's a very high up leader of the Gloam and therefore gets to do extra stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's a little bit like were I making an Eloin stat block, it would be like she gets to do this plus this from Hunter's Mark. And you're like, yes, so but then just because they then use the short sword doesn't necessarily mean they get your Hunter's Mark. And I'm sort of trying to figure that out because I don't necessarily want to give you per turn 2 attacks of 2d12 plus 6 plus Hunter's Mark plus 2d8.
It's the 2d8 because everything else is a standard greatsword.
Yes, but then you've got Hunter's Mark as well.
Yes, but...
But do you know what I mean? Like, suddenly, it's an amount of damage that I'm really keen on you being able to do at some point, but do I want you to do it yet? Because you're already a tricky enough party to balance for, that then if I'm then adding in, and also you can do potentially an extra 32 damage per round, so that if you action surge, you can do another 64 damage.
Leave some for the rest of us.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing is you then lose your offhand with your dagger
Yes,
because
so
you have two hands on a great sword.
I have to drop offhand, and I lose Vex as well, which means I no longer roll with advantage if I hit.
So it does have mechanical drawbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what it will ultimately be, by the time this goes out, I probably will have figured it out. But it might be 1d8, or I might drop it to 2d6 or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's your Hunter's Mark damage?
Hunter's Mark is 1d6 per attack.
Yeah. So maybe I just add a d8, and you're doing a d8, a d12, and a d6
so
per attack, which is fun.
With Hunter's Mark up, one greatsword attack would be 3d6 plus my strength.
Oh, is a greatsword?
2d. They
greatsword
define it
is
as
2d6.
2d6.
Sorry,
You're saying 1d12, but
No, you know what? A great axe is 1d12. Yeah. That's why I was.
So it's
thinking
2d6.
That's so
plus
embarrassing.
my strength is a standard attack.
Your strength is 5, but because it'd be a magic weapon, it would increase by 1.
6, yeah.
To answer your question, actually, when I went to go back into the camp for the second time, I wasn't going in invisible because I was like, I wanted there to be more of an element of, okay, well, I'm going to go in and it's going to be a little bit less.
Yeah.
Just like, well, I'm rolling with advantage. I mean, all that kind of.
Yeah.
But then when it was suddenly apparent, I was like, oh, I rolled in that 20 on luck. And the guy is coming down now. I was like, okay, I kind of have to do it because this is the plan to get us through there and not make it suspicious.
Yeah.
But I was totally willing to try and do that whole second part without invisibility because I was like, I want it to be a little more like the perils there, you know?
Yeah.
If you're rolling with advantage, and that still gives you reliable talent, I mean, you'd have to roll 2 nat 1s for it to fail.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It's staggering.
So you do 2 nat 1s in a row.
Yeah.
Well, I give advantage on stealth for invisibility, but that isn't actually in the rules. The legacy definition of invisible is you cannot be seen. You can't, essentially it just says you cannot be seen by magical or non-magical means. But I feel like logically you should still be rolling stealth because you still make noise. You can still be exactly, if you've got a sword belt on, that can still clip a door frame as you walk through. Yeah. You're not incorporeal, you're still making footsteps.
I was
you can still
thinking about
sneeze.
this in terms of shadows and the bright fire against the ridge, and in my head I was going, wouldn't he be casting a shadow? Because he's just invisible. He's not incorporeal.
That's a good question.
I think you don't. I don't believe you cast shadows when invisible. It wouldn't make much sense to me because essentially the light is not hitting you because you're not physically there, which means surely you wouldn't cast a shadow.
It's one of those questions as to whether things that you're holding go invisible too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Yes, and do they go invisible up? So
you
everything
drop
you're wearing...
Yeah.
This sounds
So
like
if you
a serving
pick-
cantrip question. Like, and then are you naked?
Yeah, but like,
Or
if
do you come?
Which is
An actual-
very confusing.
actual serving
that,
cantrip question.
that just sounds
Never mind.
very
Never
rogue.
mind.
For anyone who hasn't
yeah.
been party to the serving cantrip questions, Etha's just gone
This- all the more
very
reason-
rogue.
You
Worry
should
about
watch
it's
it.
fine.
Yeah, you should. You
You
cowards.
should play our game naked or come.
Is that our next?
Hang on, our
Is that our
game is
next?
not
Is
called
that,
Naked or Come.
is that our next panel?
Sorry, where was the
Naked and Come.
wait? Where was the
If you're lucky.
Where was the grammar in that? Was it? Where was the punctuation? Was,
Harry with the
you
big
should
eyes.
What you're thinking about
you should
right now?
play our game naked and come, or are you saying you should play our game naked and come?
I feel
Yeah,
like
both.
I feel like why not
yeah,
have it
the
all?
answer is
Why not
yes.
have it all?
The answer to your question is yes.
Yes.
But if you don't know what that means, go and watch a very lovely panel that we did at PAX East, in which we talk about that.
Oh yeah, is that available on our page?
That one is actually on Pax's channel.
Oh cool.
The MCM ones, which is warm, moist, warm, wet,
no,
cold,
warm,
wet.
wet, cold, wet,
That's
yeah.
on our page.
Shout out to Simon.
We had another dice go in dice jail. Does this die behave itself?
So the story of this one, it rolled super high right at the beginning, crazy high.
Like before we started.
Did we do? I did 2 nat 20s and then a 19
Yes.
in a row. So I was like, I'm using this bad boy.
But the 2 nat 20s were off camera, right? That we haven't
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was kind of crazy. And then obviously it's very badly. So we went to the dice jail, and it did okay afterwards. I don't think it learned its lesson.
We all rolled so bad.
but just badly. In
You did
general.
roll quite badly, actually. It's unusual for so many of you to be
So many
rolling
But if we hadn't had the
Perception.
advantage, I was so close to using second wind on
on your saving throw.
the saving throw, which I'm not sure I even can actually.
I think it's an ability check.
It's an ability
isn't it?
check. Or I've got heroic inspiration, so
Yeah.
I could have just re-rolled. But I was like, but like, how long are we going to be in here for? Are you
Yeah,
resting?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
do you want to
exactly.
blow through
You know
all
what?
those things that could be helpful?
I don't think it's fun unless you've got something like the blight, right? Because the blight was a specific thing at the very beginning that, like, every time you were in a fight and you did damage to one of them, there was a chance that you were going to get blighted, or they did damage to you. I can't remember what I figured out.
I think it's both.
Maybe I'm a horrible bastard, but it was quite. I think it was melee. You had to be in melee
Yes.
with them, which kind of makes sense to me. Like it's either like everyone's blood's kind of getting on everyone, and which
bodily
makes
fluids.
sense to me. Whereas what I don't think is fun is for you to just keep rolling DC 12 Constitution saving throws until eventually you fail.
Yeah.
To me, that's just like really boring and feels quite railroady. So they're going to be sparse but get more difficult rather than constant but stay low level.
Yeah.
Also kind of fun. I was kind of like, ooh, I want to hear what everyone's like tripping out about.
Oh, I
Like,
think
that's-
it could. I don't know how deep these caves go, but it
Well,
feels like someone's going to be having
Somnium
a
means
breakdown.
dream.
Yes.
I think I said that. I think it means dream in Latin.
Somnambulist?
Somnambulism.
English to Latin. I'm sure
In
it's.
Nosferatu, right? No, Dr. Caligari. Yeah, sorry.
Somnia is also the name of one of the tracks from Final Fantasy 15. It's one of the, for Noctis, Nocturnal, Somnia is one of the piano tracks. It's one of my favourite tracks on the 15 soundtrack from Yoko.
Isn't
Written
the
by
city
my
called
best
that?
friend Yoko
Somnium.
Shimomura. Crazy.
Somnium means a dream,
Friends.
or it like can be translated as.
Only time I could
don't
see
really
the stage at the
understand
BAFTA
Latin
because you had collected an award, so you weren't sat in front of me with that fucking clown hat on. It was
Yeah.
the only award at the BAFTA I got a visual eyes on because I had to sit behind this twat.
Yoko Shimomura
Randomly
wanted
assigned
a picture
seat.
with me. She asked for a picture with me.
Well, she knows what's good for her.
She does.
She put it on her Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's so cute.
Any other business?
That we want to talk about?
Yeah.
I'm excited to get into the case. Like
Yeah.
now, I'm like
Yeah.
now we've had a couple of episodes of beginning a new chapter, the setting the scene,
Yeah.
the regroup of people, the reassigning of kind of whose kind of bit it is and reframing them. I'm so fucking excited to just get into more of the meat
Yeah.
of what this
What are we
kind
gonna
of
find?
arc
Yeah.
is.
What are we going to find? What do you think we're going to find?
You weren't here for the last action surge. You had to leave a bit early, didn't you?
Yeah.
I ended it by saying, I think there's a real chance that we're going to become god killers.
Yeah, what is I's expectation? That's a really kind of great question to end on.
And to add on to that, has it changed?
Oh, yeah, good question.
As you've been playing, has what you've hoped to find and what you've hoped...
Especially
Because I suppose in your imagination, we all kind of play out what we think the hero scenario is, what you'd love to happen, and has
Yeah.
that changed?
I still think that I is going forward with a sense of, yeah, I'm going to meet my God, and my God has probably thought they're doing the right thing by the kobolds that they've got there, but why was I left behind? Surely a God should be kind of omnipotent. I should know that there is one missing from the flock, that kind of thing. And the sense of like, so why was I left behind? And there's definitely going to be a sense of like abandonment issue, like coming to the forefront, which will cloud some of his judgment. But I honestly think that it's still a sense of, tribe. It's still a sense of just, even if he basically just gets there and goes, okay, I've got here, I know where the others are, that's it, and I never need to see them again.
But also knowing,
And what on he go? Do you know what I mean?
what about like the tension between themselves and Parvis? Like,
Because you're more like Parvis
I'm
now.
more like-
than you
yeah.
are, like probably the tribe you left behind. You're more like the Antigua he didn't want to talk to.
I feel like I is going to have questions, almost a sense of on behalf of Parvis.
Yeah.
Like there's a feeling of like going, okay, I'm here to continue Parvis's legacy, so I got some hard questions for you.
And I've said this on every action surge, I think, for the last 3 apps, but like, to me, you feel like the most worldly, you feel like that,
Yeah.
you feel Parvis-like,
Yeah.
Parvis adjacent,
Yeah.
which is really lovely. I tell you what I really loved? I know it was a silly little flair thing, but this and your appearance changing ever so slightly with just a very
little
your
mask.
mask
The
on.
Hamburglar.
Little,
Yeah.
little.
but he would
little-
though. I feel like he's like fully like pretend, like in the moment,
Do you-
being
Main
like,
character
Do
energy,
you
and I
remember?
love it.
Did you ever see Emperor's New Groove?
yes,
Yeah.
obviously.
And that character, who was the big one, who would do his own theme music as he was sneaking around.
Kronk.
Kronk. Yeah, going.
Oh, the poison for Cusco. Cusco's poison.
That poison.
It reminds me of that, like a much more competent version of that.
Yeah. What I actually think going forward now is that for the seeing themselves and the questions to themselves is secondary to just at least seeing that the other kobolds are safe.
Yeah.
I think that's actually now the primary thing. It's like, because if he gets there and it's just himself and where all the other kobolds aren't even there, then it's like, hold on.
Absolutely. I mean, themselves being like, I couldn't trust any of them.
Yeah.
So I just decided to stay here safe.
Yeah. So I think there's that. It's basically as much as anything else now. I think for Ayad is at least just making sure that the tribe is safe. If he thinks that the tribe is safe, even if he has questions for himself, and even if that doesn't resolve anything, and he leaves with a bit of a sense of distrust or like or feeling abandoned by themselves still, if the others feel safe, that's good enough for I.
We haven't even brought up like what we're going to ask him in the sense that like the gods are fucking dead.
Oh yeah, that would probably
This
be
is the
good.
up with
last
that?
god. Like
Yeah.
at some point we have to be
What
like,
happened?
yo mate, like you seem to be the only one left.
Yeah.
Any idea what happened at Atria would be great to kind of, because we're kind of taking the blame for it.
What is the deal with those orbs?
Yeah.
I've got loads of questions for him.
Yeah, I think I
whether
feel
or not
like
you'll let us ask
I feel like, I don't want my if and maybe to be construed as anything other than me leaving every possibility open and not telling you. But like, if themself is where you expect them to be and amenable to conversation, I would almost expect it to be an entire ep. Do you know what I mean? Of just being like, of just role play and conversation and trying to understand what and why and who and when and how.
Yeah.
Because it is big.
Because we're running out of oldies to ask. Like,
This is
you know what I
the
mean?
thing.
There are that.
This is the thing. Like, you have a few Antiqua that you are
There's an-
not aware of having died.
It was 2, and no one's spoken about. Literally, their names have not come up, so we
Yeah,
don't know anything.
Runa,
Genevieve and
Runa
Runa.
and Genevieve
Yeah.
are the only ones currently unaccounted
So
for. All the
Barak
others.
and Cressian, right?
Barabas.
No, Barak.
Yeah,
as in,
Brack
Barak is the
Brack.
and
Oh,
Cressian,
Brack.
yeah.
is
Brack
the
is
city.
orc and
Yeah.
Brack is orc and
Because
Cressian is human.
Load is dwarven, and we know.
Yeah,
And
and
Gornov
Gornov
wasn't there
Was
anyway.
it Runa who was the nervous one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Runa didn't
yeah.
want to read.
Yeah.
Runa didn't like
We
reading.
gave the little
Turned out to be an
applause.
absolute knob in the end.
Yeah.
Might still be. But
Right.
like that's it. Like if you can't get the question out of themselves, there's only 2 other people with that length of knowledge.
And Barabask.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I don't think he'll be
I don't want
able
to
to
talk to
talk
him.
to us.
right
I'm not
now.
sure Barabask would necessarily be amenable, but yeah.
What's he up to? What the fuck?
Doesn't matter. You can
Yeah.
punch me in the face when I see him.
Well, shall you roll some polies? But don't. Oh, I thought you were going to flick it. And I was like, that will break him.
Yeah, I know. I want him to break.
And I get to talk about my favourite moment of the app. And actually, one of my favourite moments of the app, brilliantly, hasn't come up, which is Raging in sort of gently insisting on a plan. And being like, or
That's great,
actually,
sweetie.
not necessarily insisting on a plan, but being like, okay, I actually think we need to be very careful, and I think we need to do this, and this is going to be the way to do it, and this is going to be the way to succeed. Like, that was really interesting to me. It was unusual to hear Radiant talk like that. And it was also nice for everyone to do some planning and everyone be like, that's a good idea, or maybe we could do this, rather than someone be like, you
Then don't come up with
fucking
stupid. Don't come up with
dick.
stupid shit.
You arsehole.
Don't come up with stupid shit.
No, but it was nice. It was I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that kind of sort of new.
I am both player and character thrilled we did not attempt to change Kelmus into Nox and walk in that way. I will die on that hill.
interesting.
No, it wouldn't have.
I would have loved that.
I would have. I thought. Can I tell you something else that I thought you could have done? You could have sort of used your Midnight Moon card
I
and
thought about it.
got them all out of
Thought
there.
about it, but
Does she care about these children of the Midnight Moon?
does. But this.
But
is
they're
more
not. They're also
important
not the
right
ones
now.
in Haven, right? It
Exactly.
feels like she has more of a connection with the ones in Haven than she does down here.
I think. in
But
her
you did
mind-
hear about someone.
Champagne socialist.
Well, no,
She's
it's
a
about
massive
getting to the
socialist.
bottom of what's going on here, and that will maybe help them out of the bind that they're in.
Yeah.
Like, and also, it's just like our focus is on I right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think you're not actually going to lead this cult. Like, at some point, you've got to put, like, well, I've set them up as best I can. Like, I can't do it all.
I've set him up. I'm like she's reluctant here or whatever. If the call comes, like that's fine. But
Who would like to? Who would like to?
I will. 79.
83.
Wilson's confident. She's trying to hide it. She's super confident. She's so confident. She's so confident.
no,
You go.
87.
Okay, so can you two say a number between 1 and 20, whichever one of you is closest to what I roll has to go first.
16.
16 and 7. That's a nat 1, so you have to go first.
134.
Whoa!
69.
As good as each other.
Ending we deserve.
Completely
The dice always know.
Yeah, they have their own story to tell. What a way to end it. Well, I mean, literally. Thank you ever so much for joining us here for Action Surge. We will see you very soon for more adventures in the world of Reliquiae. Bye, everybody!